I don't want to say all Montreal Canadiens fans dislike Nikita Kucherov, but even before today, like the Stanley Cup Final Series and what he said about Montreal and the fans after the series was over, I've seen a lot of Habs fans who do not like this guy. Today, though, it got ratcheted up to a whole new level. First, the Habs went up 1-0 off a batted shot from Yoel Armia. Things start well against one of their most hated non-Canadian team rivals, but that's when the drama starts. So Goulet goes behind the net to get the puck and reverse it over to Matheson. Kucherov sees numbers all the way and rides Goulet face first into the glass. This is where you start seeing Hab fans' blood boil a little bit because, first of all, there was no call on this from the refs. Goulet stayed down for a while. It did not look good, and when he finally did get up and went to the locker room, he never came back. Just those two things alone, I fully understood when my Twitter timeline was full of angry Habs fans. Plus, you add in the recent history with Kucherov and honestly the Lightning in general winning that cup over the Habs. It was Shea Weber and Carey Price's last chance to get a cup, and instead the Lightning go back-to-back. There was precedent here. On top of the fact that it went uncalled, Kucherov got to keep playing, and he had a big game after that.
The Canadiens played in the playoffs, like the final, the Stanley Cup finals, like those finals. They can't even make the playoffs now. I don't think the Canadiens are going to say, hey, Toronto, we're in the playoffs. Hey, Matthews, we're in the playoffs. Hey, McDavid, we're going to be in the playoffs this year. Like, we haven't seen that in 100 years. That's what it feels like. I get that the Montreal Canadiens have a team that is getting upgraded by their GM. But, here we go. They're not going to slide into a playoff spot this year. They might next year. I'm not saying that they are, but they might. I think upgrades are going to keep happening, and I think they're going to be ready for a playoff spot. I think they're going to be able, if they keep working at getting better players, I bet they're going to be able to make it to the second round and lose in the second round. I think they're going to get one half of the playoffs. I think they're going to get one half of the playoffs done. And if you're an NHL team that hasn't gotten to the playoffs in the past so many years, I think you've really accomplished something.
This one went on to get away from the Habs. The Lightning took control. Yeah. It's now 5-2, and Tampa has a power play. Point gets it over to Kucherov for the one-timer. This one was starting to turn into a rout, and the only thing
Hey, did you see that the Penguins knocked the Capitals out of the playoffs? Like, we got the rivalry in Washington, D.C., we got the Penguins, the Pittsburgh Penguins, out of all teams. The Penguin goes under the net of the goalie and goes into the net and he scores into knocking them out of the playoffs. I wish I said that better.
What made Habs fans even more furious would have been if Kucherov did a showboat celebration after that goal. Could you imagine if he would have put his hand up to his ear or something after that? I was wondering if he was going to go full all-star skills competition. That would have been something. The Habs did end up making this one a little bit closer, but then of course for the empty netter, Kucherov is the one to flip it up to Stamkos to ice the game. I know when you think of Habs rivalries, you think of the Bruins, you think of the Leafs, even the Sens, those playoff series in 2013 and 2015. Remember the bug-eyed walrus stuff? But man, those playoff series in 2014 and 2015 and the 2021 Stanley Cup Final, there's a legit rivalry between these two teams. I know Tampa's better than Montreal, and they have been for a while, but there's some hatred there, and I'd love to see a playoff series between these two teams again down the road. Give me your thoughts. What do you think about the Kucherov-Goulet play?
They won the Stanley Cup in 1991 to make them the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup.
Next one. You're awesome.
Thanks.
I want a club. Talk about a good iron. Talk about those. Hey, 640.
All your life in hockey, you're taught to pick the corners and try to do everything you can not to hit the goalie in the mask. Obviously, in the middle of a game, it's different. Things happen so fast that the goalie's going to get some off the noggin. It's just part of the game, but it's generally an unwritten rule that you don't try to hit the goalie directly.
I bet if we had, well, I take hockey practice, and I bet if we had a goalie, which if we had a goalie, I bet I would have to apply that rule. But right now, I'm trying to practice ice hockey without a goalie in net.
Directly in the mask with the
Sorry.
puck. Now, banking it off the goalie's mask by accident is one thing, but something kind of wild is starting to take shape in the NHL
Purpose?
is guys are purposefully trying to shoot for the goalie's mask and into the net. Now, it's not a brand new innovative thing that just started happening this year or last year. No, guys have done it over the years, sprinkled in here and there, but recently it feels like it's become a lot more common and a lot more guys are trying it. Some people call it the Jack Hughes special, and he does like to do it, but last night, for example, we saw
The
it
Hughes
twice in two
special.
different games on the same day. Kirill Marchenko
The
collects
J.
the puck and
Hughes
he's looking for
special.
options, looking what he
Let's
can do.
just
You can
call
see
it the
him hone in
Hughes
on the goalie's
special.
mask,
There you go.
focus extra hard on it, and there's no question he purposefully banks it off Sorokin's jaw and into the net. Then we go to Florida and Ottawa, where Anton Lundell is literally behind the goal.
I wonder if Patrick Waugh. I believe that's his name, Patrick. Yeah, Waugh. I wonder if Waugh would be able to stop that. Maybe he would need a water. See what I did there? Yeah. Not that great.
And in the corner,
Gatorade.
one of the lowest percentage places in the entire offensive zone to score from, and he too hones in on Korpisalo's mask and decides, I'm just going to absolutely rip this thing off his mask and in the net. He shot that thing hard. Like, could you imagine if this was back in the day when goalies didn't wear helmets, if the players just decided they were going to try to do this? Thank God they didn't have to, and those masks, they protect the goalies really well, but you can still get concussed or lose teeth from a shot there. I'm not saying that's going to happen from a bank shot like this, but that's got to be a little nerve-wracking for the goalies if guys start purposefully aiming for...
They should make this against the rules. They should say you can't hit the goalie's face mask with the puck purposely. If it is unpurposely, then you can. But if it is for a goal, if it's for a goal, then you can't do that. If it was just an accident and you fell on the floor, yeah, you can do that. Unless if it's a goal. Unless if you were trying to get a goal or it is a goal. Yeah.
Their masks. That Marchenko one especially, though, was just such a slick, cool goal. Jeff Merrick put out on Twitter that because we're seeing this more and more, we're going to have to come up with a name for it. And of course, Twitter being Twitter, some of the replies had me laughing out loud. Some of my favorites include the facelift, the doink shot, Gretzky's kiss, and...
Gretzky's kiss? What the heck? Bank shot? I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? I call it the Hughes shot. The Hughes shot. Or the goalie shot. Or the goalie shot. Yeah.
What it actually is called, which is just the bank shot. It's also funny because they asked Marchenko in the intermission, do you work on that shot? And he's like, no, it's kind of hard to get the goalie to say, hey, can I just shoot pucks off your head? And it's wild because there's nothing you can really do to stop this. I mean, ultimately, players do respect the goaltenders in the league, so there will be a line that they won't cross. I like to believe that if players choose to shoot for the mask, they know not to shoot it hard enough where they could really hurt the goalie. But yeah, in a game like hockey, you can't just say that a part of the net or a part of the
Fleury
ice you
doesn't
can't
get
shoot at the net
hurt
from. Like,
during
no,
that.
it's cheeky and it's creative, and we're going to see more of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the bank
Or
shot. Do you
gets
like
in
it? Do you not
general.
like it? Also, I know you guys are going to be good at this. Do you have a creative name for this shot? Because some of those are making me laugh, man. Let me know. I'll see you in the next one. You're
Well,
awesome.
let's see.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most.
I'm an old goalie, so I'm
Add a Robinhood
a
IRA
little
on top.
biased, but if it's done on purpose, then I suggest banking my goal stick off an XVL the concussion wristler. Okay, let's see. Scully. The facial. Okay. Hey, shout out to all the guys and girls and other stuff that I am scrolling past. Like this dude. Go subscribe to him. This person, go subscribe to him. This guy, go subscribe to him. Okay, I'm done after this one. Go subscribe to him. Okay, anyway. Shoutouts to everybody.
I gotta be really careful about how I talk about this one because YouTube does not like the content we're gonna be discussing. Last time the Rangers and Devils played each other, Matt Rempe had a really...
Sorry, we've already talked about this twice, so...
After a few days of speculation, the top free agent NCAA prospect Colin Graff is signed with the, drumroll please, San Jose Sharks. Graff is a 6-foot forward for Quinnipiac and is a 2-time Hobey Baker finalist. He led the team this year with 22 goals and 49 points in just 34 games. He also had 59 points in 41 games the year before with Quinnipiac when they went on to win the NCAA title, where he had the game-tying goal in the final, as you may remember if you watched our coverage of Graff is a known scorer and great at finding space and being on the right spot at the right time. He's also responsible on both ends of the ice and was named best defensive forward in his conference. Unfortunately, the Bobcats got bounced from the tournament before the Frozen Four this year, but now the 21-year-old is headed to San Jose, and this is a huge win for the Sharks. Shout out to Mike Greer for getting this done. And it really does seem like a bit of a coup for the Sharks. He was heavily rumored to be going for a contender and or Eastern Conference team, and boo. Nope, he goes to the worst team in the West. So sometimes you don't know what you don't know. But for real, he was linked to teams like Boston, the Rangers, the Canucks, and then even good teams that are on the playoff fence like Minnesota and Vegas. You know, good teams. And he chooses the Sharks. I mean, no blame. It's just surprising, but I think it could be the perfect match. The Sharks add a player who is a complete 200-foot game who knows how to score goals. Two things they desperately need, and am I crazy for saying he probably plugs into the top of that lineup immediately? And for Graff, he gets just that plug into that lineup immediately, getting ice time and the freedom to play his game somewhere where it doesn't snow. That's not a luxury young players are often given. Look at Matthew Nyes. As good as he was and as much energy as he brought to the Leafs during their playoff run, he had to plug into the lineup and fit the role the team had for him. Graff now also gets a chance to get out ahead of the Sharks' younger picks on the payroll, which works out well for him from a contract point of view. The Sharks have been doing, in my opinion, their little things right under Greer and have set themselves up for a good-looking rebuild. If they can finally get a first overall pick under their belt, maybe they won't be looking like Finn Soup for too much longer. But what do you think of Graff's move signing with San Jose? Who would you have signed with?
Next year's not a Bedard year, but it's also not like a...
Hey, Meta, what should I...
It's also not like a... Hey, we got Wayne Gretzky's younger brother for this draft. Like, it's not like we have a toddler who's gonna go onto the ice and is gonna crawl all over the ice till he gets a goal. Like, no, that's not what. He's just the player who's gonna be drafted. He is probably gonna be good. He's not gonna be like Bedard good or McDavid good or Matthews good, but he's gonna be pretty good. No rookie is good from the start, except Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. But those are the only three players who could be good from... And Gordie Howe and Bob Hall. Those are the only people who are good from the start. Maybe not Bob Hall, but anyway.
Go test these glasses out.
You might want to try out these glasses at Spooky Gold.
You can see what my point is, right? No, you can't.
And there it is.